Today, talent that stretches from court to canvas, folk art in the park, and art that was lost and found.
Travel with AAA's Discover Oklahoma.
Hi, and welcome to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. We are coming to you this week from the Gaylord Pickens Oklahoma Heritage Museum. I'm Jenifer Reynolds, and we are so pleased to have as our co-host this week Desmond Mason. We know him as a basketball player, but many people are beginning to know you by your artworks, some of which are on display here right now.
Absolutely. This is a great exhibit. This is an exhibit I did called Generation Next. You know, art has always been a passion of mine. I like to say that basketball just got in the way for 10 years for me being creative from an art standpoint. And so, but now I have an opportunity to do it full time, and I'm enjoying it. And the exhibits I'm creating now for not just the Heritage Museum here, but in other places outside of the state and even outside of the country, I'm excited to have the time to be able to do that.
Well, this particular gallery is kind of the history of your life through art, so let's take a closer look. Entitled Generation Next, Chapter 2, the exhibit highlights a couple of paintings Desmond says are his artistic response to the negative labels applied to his Generation X.
I fall in Generation X, and so I labeled it Next because we were kind of that lost generation that was going to destroy the world. And so I took these pieces, as this piece right here is called The Lost. It was basically highlighting the thought process of what people thought our generation would be. And then the King of Kings came about as I was preparing to travel to Israel. In Generation X, we were also, you know, non-religious, no morals, basically going to destroy the world is what everyone said about my generation. And so this was kind of a play on those things, kind of just some significance of the things that went on in Generation X as I studied it. Obviously, the world hasn't been destroyed. And I say the people that run our country and run most countries are not in Generation X anyway. So, but at the end of the day, I think that every generation is going to have innovative and you know, very successful and very talented people. And so I do not believe what they said about my generation.
Desmond says each year he tries to go back and study one of the great masters, and this exhibit features some of his favorites from what he calls his Picasso phase.
I did about 7 or 8 different fruit arrangements, and I did them in a lot of different ways, and this is one of my favorites. Again, I'm a huge Picasso fan, so. Why?
What is it about him that you like?
You know, the one quote that he had, it was he spent the majority of his life trying to paint like an adult, which when he was 15 or 16 years old, he was probably one of the best realists walking the planet. And he said he spent the last half of his life learning to paint like a kid, which was some of his most successful paintings that he ever had, let alone some of the most successful and iconic paintings in the world. And so, in saying it, I really believe that it's not necessarily about how detailed you can be. It's
you don't
about
have to color in the lines.
It's
all
about
the time.
expression. Yeah, it's all about expression. And this one is a town on the red dirt road. It's kind of it's an offset of work because I've traveled a lot to Mexico, so it has that kind of Mexican vibe to it. But when you think about red dirt, especially in this part of the United States, it's all about Oklahoma. We are red dirt people, so. Definitely that's where a lot of that comes from. And then this flower arrangement, I love doing flower arrangements, and this is one of those very Picasso style works. So I've had this for quite a long time, and now I finally got it in an exhibit. So
people will say, the artist, Desmond Mason, I think he used to play basketball. Would that please you?
Absolutely. Basketball was a big part of my life, and it gave me a platform. And I'm a realist. It gave me a platform to allow people to see this and to appreciate it initially because they knew I played basketball. Well, now people know me as an artist just as much as basketball, and I talk more about art than I actually talk about basketball. So this is my life, this is my passion, and this is life after basketball for me. So basketball is gone in my life, and now this is my future.
And it's a future that is bright, bold, and inspiring. Of course, art comes in all kinds of forms. What are some of your favorite media?
I'll probably say canvas is what I work on, obviously oils and acrylics. I started in ceramics, so I did a lot of pottery, and and sculpture, but there's some cool art forms, especially around here in Oklahoma. You have the totem pole that's in northeastern Oklahoma, and then you have all the wonderful painted buffaloes throughout the metro area. Those are pretty cool.
You ever done a totem pole?
I have not done a totem pole, but I do have they call it the naked buffalo. I have the last naked buffalo from friends who are going to allow me to paint it. So it's the last buffalo that's going to be here in Oklahoma City.
That will be cool. All right, well, we'll keep you posted about that. And in the meantime, our Shel Wagner has made the trip up Route 66 to Foyle to gawk at that 90-foot totem pole icon.
Just a couple of miles off Route 66 in Foyle stands a one-of-a-kind monument. It's the world's largest totem pole, 90 feet high and resting on a 50-foot base.
There are over 200 different designs in the large totem pole. And the top of the totem pole is crowned by 4 Indian chiefs.
It was built by hand over a period of 11 years and required 28 tons of cement, 6 tons of steel, and 100 tons of sand. Ed Galloway was the folk artist who toiled over the world's largest totem pole, 1 bucket of cement at a time, and without any masonry experience.
Yeah, you say he built it at about 10 feet per year. And as you look at that, you'll see it's built on a turtle. Evidently that was a rock outcrop. I didn't know that until recently. And so he took that rock outcrop and began to form it and hew it and add concrete to that. Almost everything he did was to honor the American Indian.
Ed Galloway was a man of few means, but he didn't let that slow him down.
He made his own tools. These are examples here of some of his own tools that he made. There's his own lathe. I guess for a while he didn't have a car, and he would hitchhike to town, and he would go to lumber yards and pick up used wood, pick up glass.
Unique folk art structures are scattered throughout the park.
Highway 28 here used to be a main route from Tulsa to Grand Lake, and Ed Galloway thought this spot would be the perfect place for a picnic.
That's why you see a lot of picnic tables.
Ed's famous saying sums it up. All my life I did the best I knew. I built these things by the side of the road to be a friend to you. He built the fiddle house next to the totem pole to serve as a workshop where he handcrafted 300 fiddles, all made from a different kind of wood. And he used every scrap of wood to create intricate, inlaid folk art pieces. Several examples of his work are displayed in the fiddle house, which now serves as a museum and gift shop.
In 1999, this was placed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
Totem Pole Park has long been an iconic stop for folks traveling Route 66 and is part of any legitimate Mother Road travel guide.
It has a lot of people from the United Kingdom, Germany, a lot of people from Italy and Spain this year, I've noticed.
As you can imagine, maintaining this historic roadside attraction is a delicate, expensive, and ongoing prospect. The totem pole has been recently restored only as high as the volunteer artisans could reach via scaffolding.
So, anybody has a good bucket truck that can reach pretty tall, we're certainly interested in that.
Ed Galloway was only 5 feet 7 inches tall, but you can see that he thought big. And his legacy stands as solidly today as when it was built. At Totem Pole Park in Foyle, I'm Shel Wagner.
Next Saturday, October 6th, is the perfect time to visit Totem Pole Park for the Totem Pole Barbecue and Music Fest. This fun-filled family event features a great barbecue dinner, craft vendors, live entertainment, and activities for kids. Go to travelok.com to get all the event details.
Keep it right here, because coming up next, art that everyone can appreciate.
A priceless collection of artwork discovered inside a closet. It's dusted off and on display, and we'll show it to you when AAA's Discover Oklahoma continues.
It was almost comical. It was like, I can't believe this even happened. I look down the street, I see there's a tree across my son's car. I was just like, I called my AAA agent, Patty. She said, we can take care of this. AAA and Patty are great. You just feel like they have your back. They make everything as easy as possible. I mean, they really take good care of us.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Want to get away? Oklahoma road trips are fuel for the soul. To get your motor running, visit travelok.com for brochures, inspiration, and loads of savings. A few clicks will put you on the open road to adventure. At travelok.com/road trips, it's easy to find a getaway that moves you. We've reinvented the road trip. Come along for the ride.
It was a Saturday morning and I went to an exercise class. As soon as the class ends, I go to the parking lot and somebody had stolen my car. I couldn't believe it. So I called AAA Insurance. They offered me a rental car. They told me everything was going to be all right. So when my car was found a week later, they said, Bob, you need to change the locks on your car. I would have never thought about that if it wasn't for AAA. They really took care of me.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from the Oklahoma Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City. Our guest host is Desmond Mason, and what you see around us, some of your paintings. How did art and basketball mix for you?
For me, they coexisted very well. It was, art was kind of something that was a fallback that got me away from the life of travel and intensity of the game and all the practices and the wear and tear on your body. So it was a place that I can go and actually have a little bit of serenity. And again, I would say I had a passion for art just as much as I had a passion for basketball.
I think we'll head to Ponkan City now, where some old artworks and a really grand old theater came together and provided a beautiful mix. She was the grand lady of Ponkan City when she opened to big crowds in 1927. The stories of the Ponkan Theater's ups and downs over the years since then are legendary, of her extensive renovation and of the countless original features that were uncovered. Priceless stained glass, stenciled ceilings, chandeliers, beautiful plaster details. But it seems this old girl wasn't out of surprises just yet. Wait until you see the latest discovery.
We have the world's largest collection of hand-painted 1930s lobby art. That's right, hand-painted.
Dave May ran across the collection, stacked high on some rafters in the top of a seldom used closet in the theater.
I'd actually heard some rumors that there might be some painted artwork associated with films somewhere in the theater, but nobody knew where it was. And the first one I slid out was a painting of Will Rogers, of all things, so amazing find. And Will Rogers actually started his career right here close to Ponkan City with the 101 Ranch, so that's a great piece for us to have. The artwork is an amazing find, not only for the Ponkan Theater in Ponkan City, but for Oklahoma. We have a world-class collection. People come from all over to see this artwork. Art critics, people associated with the film industry. It is truly a one-of-a-kind treasure and something that you have to see to believe.
That such an extensive collection somehow survived is a bit of a miracle. But this compilation of art and history might just ask more questions than it answers. For example, who painted these things anyway?
It was always a localized art form. Back in those days, and we're talking the teens, 20s, 30s, on into the 40s, theaters would have local artists, a small theater or a theater chain, and they would do this type of artwork to publicize the film.
Notice the eye-popping color used in an effort to lure an audience off the street.
There's another reason you see some of the same colors repeated through all of these, and that is simply economics. If they had this paint, this is what they were going to use.
Each piece would hang in front of the theater for the entire run of a film, a mere 3 or 4 days back then.
What we have, this world's largest collection of painting, really represents a whole art form that has been lost, and you can rediscover it all with one stop here.
On October 4th, the Ponkan Theater will present the Great Big Band, featuring songbook standards of artists like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Rosemary Clooney, and Tommy Dorsey. For information on tickets and the upcoming show, you'll find a link to their website on the Discover Oklahoma page at travelok.com.
And coming up next, we're heading to my favorite place and my kids' favorite place to hang out in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Eskimo Joe's.
It's the cheese fries, isn't it?
It is the cheese fries.
We'll be headed to the Jump a Little Juke joint when we come back on AAA's Discover Oklahoma.
Hello, Chuck May here with AAA Oklahoma. When you hear the name AAA, many of you probably think about roadside service or booking your next vacation through AAA Travel. But did you know that AAA Insurance is the fastest growing auto and home insurance company in Oklahoma? It's true. AAA Insurance offers a wide variety of discounts which allow us to offer competitive premiums along with thorough insurance coverage to our customers. In addition, AAA has 41 insurance offices across the state of Oklahoma to make it easy and convenient to do business with us. Call us or go to AAA.com to get a free auto or home insurance quote. And while you're at it, ask us about life insurance too. Our reputation for quality customer service is unmatched, and you are backed with a name you know and trust. Until next time, may the road lead you to exciting new discoveries. Whether it's insurance, travel, or peace of mind on the road, think AAA every day.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma, here with our co-host Desmond Mason. And you know, we have something in common.
So my assumption is that you shoot hoops?
It's not really that. I did play in an exhibition basketball game once, and I was so bad they brought me a stepladder so I could make a free throw.
That's good, that's good. I need one of those.
So no, I wasn't talking about that. Actually, we're both OSU grads, so that's cool. You have some great memories from Stillwater?
Absolutely. Obviously, Eskimo Joe's cheese fries is one of the main ones.
Your kids love them now, too.
A little bacon on top.
Yeah, and the kids love them. It's a multi-generational thing. Well, our Shel Wagner is also an OSU grad, and she went back to see what Joe's been up to lately.
Eskimo Joe was born one afternoon in 1975 when then recent OSU grads, on a lark, found a building just off campus and hung out a shingle boasting 10-cent draws.
You know, we had 3-2 beer, we had a pool table and some foosball tables, and that was pretty much the mix. So fast forward 8 years, 1983, we've become Stillwater's jumping little juke joint. Business is great, I'm having a blast. It's a good business by then. And the state legislature literally just tugs the rug out from under this great success story, and they changed the drinking age from 18 to 21. Literally scared me to death. It was going to take away our target market, and I was afraid I was going to be, out of business.
After thinking about it long and hard, Stan decided Eskimo Joe's needed to offer eats.
Well, thankfully, I found out in the spring of 1984 when our kitchen opened that actually more people eat every day than drink every day. Cool! So anyway, that was actually the best thing that ever happened to us.
The menu evolves, but many items have become legendary. The burgers, the beloved fowl thing, and the famous cheese fries, part of the delight that keeps you coming back long after graduation. In 1987, Stan thought there was a niche for Mexican food in Stillwater, and soon after, Mexico Joe's was born, sort of.
Mexico Joe's just about broke my whole company. In 1987, we opened too early, we were undertrained, staff didn't really get the concept yet. This is the worst mistake you can make in the restaurant business.
That's when a little item called the Eskimo Joe's t-shirt came to the rescue.
And literally, opening Joe's clothes saved the whole company and certainly saved Mexico Joe's. Now, the good news is in 1988, we got it down, we turned it around, we broke even, which was awesome.
In 1993, Mexico Joe's moved into a festive new building in a prime location, and it has thrived ever since. The cuisine is fresh and eclectic and offers more flavors of salsa than you can shake a chip at. 6 years later, Stan had a craving for Italian cuisine. Giuseppe's opened next door to Mexico Joe's in a structure chock full of repurposed architectural elements. Another of Stan Clark's passions, infusing the newish eatery with authentic old world ambiance. More recently, Stan has turned his passions in yet another direction.
My latest venture is Eskimo Joe's Promotional Products Group. We started that in 2002.
If you like factory tours, put this one on your list. You'll see designs come to life, from conception to production.
And because we've sold so many millions of these t-shirts, Eskimo Joe's, Stillwater, Oklahoma, really lots and lots of people around the country. You mentioned Stillwater, Oklahoma, Eskimo Joe's sometimes is the first thing out of their mouth. And so that's just a huge, huge thing to us. Obviously, we take huge pride in that.
At Eskimo Joe's Promotional Products Group, Mexico Joe's, Joe's Clothes, Giuseppe's Italian Kitchen, and Eskimo Joe's in Stillwater, I'm Shel Wagner.
Stay put, because up next, we're taking you someplace that the whole family can have fun.
Get lost in a 3-story hay maze, and AAA's Discover Oklahoma continues.
It was a Saturday morning and I went to an exercise class. As soon as the class ends, I go to the parking lot and somebody had stolen my car. I couldn't believe it. So I called AAA Insurance. They offered me a rental car. They told me everything was going to be all right. So when my car was found a week later, they said, "Bob, you need to change the locks on your car." I would have never thought about that if it wasn't for AAA. They really took care of me.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Want to get away? Oklahoma road trips are fuel for the soul. To get your motor running, visit travelok.com for brochures, inspiration, and loads of savings. A few clicks will put you on the open road to adventure. At travelok.com/road trips, it's easy to find a getaway that moves you. We've reinvented the road trip. Come along for the ride.
It was almost comical. It was like, I can't believe this even happened. I look down the street, I see there's a tree across my son's car. I was just like, I called my AAA agent, Patty. She said, we can take care of this. AAA and Patty are great. You just feel like they have your back. They make everything as easy as possible. I mean, they really take good care of us.
Get great service, low rates, and a free auto insurance quote today.
Welcome back. AAA Oklahoma makes this show possible and does a lot of other great things around our state. Here's a look at today's AAA.
Hello, Chuck May here with AAA Oklahoma. If you're like me, you love planning your next vacation. Whether you like the sandy beaches of Florida, the cool mountain air of Colorado, or an exotic cruise in the Caribbean, our AAA Oklahoma travel experts can make your dream vacation come true. They'll help you find the best deals on airfare, hotels, car rentals, resorts, and restaurants. Plus, if you plan to book your trip online, AAA can provide tips on how to make sure your reservations and your personal information remain secure. Look, everybody needs a little getaway now and then, so if you're looking for some hot deals on some fun places to explore, out of state or out of the country, or if you want to staycation at one of the many first-class resorts or parks right here in Oklahoma, call our AAA Oklahoma travel experts or visit us online at AAA.com today. Until next time, may the road lead you to exciting new discoveries. Whether it's insurance, travel, or peace of mind on the road, think AAA every day.
AAA for the ones who matter most to you. Well, Desmond, we know you're an artist, and I guess your kids are interested in that too, because they love museums as much as you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we're out, we go to Oklahoma City Art Museum, we do IAO, we go to Allied Arts and look at some of the things they have there, the Untitled Art Gallery, and so they're not just artsy, they do other things, but I definitely get them engaged in the arts.
You know, I know you think that's important for young people to have that kind of art exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now with the way it's being, the funding is going away from the schools and those programs are being pulled, it's definitely up to the parents to make sure they're allowing their kids to be creative, artistic.
That opportunity.
Yes.
Well, I know they're adventurous too, and
Yes.
Dino Lawley has found a place down in Ardmore where they can go get a little adventure if they're interested.
It was around 2003 that Larry and Danielle Brown wanted to do something special, and what started out as a small maze has grown into this. And if you listen, you can actually hear the sounds of success. But these kids are doing more than just having fun. This is actually a learning experience as well.
Well, I've always enjoyed the time with kids and the education of kids and stuff. For them to come out and experience that ranch stuff is a real pleasure to me. I like for them to understand about agriculture and to understand what it actually takes to put food on the table for them. And when you get them out in an atmosphere that's on a ranch and they understand about cattle and they understand about hay and they understand about all those things, it makes it enjoyable for me.
And when Larry takes the kids out on a hayride, he stops for a minute and talks with them about that very thing, about agriculture and what it takes to make it in the agriculture community. School groups, church groups, a lot of people come from as far away as 50 and 60 miles and even further to come here and enjoy and learn. And how much fun is it to learn on 500,000 pounds of hay grown right here? Here at the Brown Ranch Hay Maze, they have all kinds of fun activities, but my favorite, just with the name alone, is called the chicken chunk. Now what that involves is, I think you get the point. And I think you guys had way too much fun throwing those at me, okay? Larry and his wife Danielle have come up with most of the ideas for the activities, but because they have such a large repeat customer base, they want to keep things fresh and new.
Some of the things that we had in the past we don't have anymore because we want it new for everybody that comes out and we want something different to do. So this year we have actually 3 new things. We have the Giddy Up Gliders, which is the zip lines that we have over there. And also one of the new things that we have this year, we put in the new slingshot shooting thing that we have.
Now, for the record, the Brown Ranch Hay Maze is strictly a fall-type destination. They don't do any of the scary activities one might find around this time of the year.
Here at our place, when we started this years ago, one of our emphasis was to actually just put it into an atmosphere that was just a fall ranch atmosphere. So we don't have a spook house. We don't do anything spooky here or anything like that. All we do actually is just the maze and the fall activities that are just agriculture related.
Fun learning combined with agriculture, that's agri-tourism at its best. At the Brown Ranch Hay Maze in Ardmore, I'm Dean O'Lally.
Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our co-host, Desmond Mason, for being with us and for putting the spotlight on the art.
Jenifer, thank you very much. I had a wonderful time.
Everybody can see his artwork here at the Gaylord Pickens Oklahoma Heritage Museum through October 27th.
Next week, genealogy is our theme, and we'll show you how to discover your Oklahoma ancestry and find out how to get your new genealogy guide. All that and more coming up next week. Hope you'll join us.
Until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma.
Production vehicle provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.